All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Schroeds. I'm a certified diabetes care and education specialist here at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. And beside me is Chef Michael Carnahan. We come together along with Cameron Stauffer, registered dietitian and senior culinary educator, every second and fourth Tuesday of the month to bring you diabetes-friendly cooking demo. I say this every week. I'm always excited about the eating part. Today, I'm really excited about the eating part. It is hearty salad with farro, roasted eggplant, cherry tomatoes, and pearl onions. So very veggie forward. This is one of Mike's recipes, and he has been talking to me about eggplant. Eggplant seems to be this ingredient that people always ask me about cooking, and they're intimidated by it. And I think there are just a couple maybe rules that you have to follow, which are you got to be flexible, right?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of playing with, and every eggplant's different in moisture. Every recipe is different for eggplant. The oven temperature, how you want the finished product, what you're going to do with it. A lot of questions around the eggplant. I think people are just intimidated by it because they've had a bad experience with it, or maybe just not the right experience yet. But I'm going to say, play around with the fat, like the olive oil or whatever you're using with it. And a lot of people, it seems to me, just don't get it cooked enough. And then they have a bad taste in their mouth with the eggplant. So be patient with it. Roast it like you would a mushroom or a zucchini. It's got a lot of moisture in it. It's going to soak up it might not have as much if it's an older one. But just be patient with it and try it out a couple different ways and make some notes on your recipes and just keep going.
I took the top off, the bottom off, and then I've got this sliced in 4. And then I'm just going to cube it to the best of my ability as evenly as I can.
And we're actually going to roast this one today in the oven. So we're going to just drizzle this with a little olive oil. And if it gets too dry, we may pull it out and drizzle a little bit more with a little bit of olive oil, or we may finish it when it comes out with a little olive oil. Depends on how dry it is.
Right,
but
that's
usually,
that flexibility piece.
You got to be flexible. You have to use your cook's knowledge when you're doing this stuff, and kind of be don't be afraid to adjust a recipe if you think it needs it.
Okay.
In the bowl.
We're
going to mix all of our stuff.
Am I going to do it like I do it at home, or am I going to do it like
you can do it on the sheet pan if you want? It doesn't matter.
Sometimes I just put it on the sheet pan and then toss it with my hands. But we're going to use the bowl today. And that seems like a big eggplant for that little sheet pan. So maybe I just use half of it.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's another thing. You want to pay attention to how much product you have on your sheet pan. Today we've got this little guy, so we probably can't put the whole recipe on here. We've got some more in the oven. I'll put a couple of these in. And then these great pearl onions. If you've ever worked with a pearl onion, let's start chatting about it. Because these things, I walked in and I'm like, these things are fiddly, Mike.
They're devils. Yeah.
They are little devils. So I'm going to I love onions, so I'm going to put all those in there. But Mike was super nice. Thanks, Mike. And he left me some to show you how to peel. And when he said that, I said, well, are they blanched? So blanched, you submerge them in some boiling water just for a minute or two. And that helps this little papery skin come off. So let's use a little knife. This is how I do it. I'll do it, and then you tell me what I should be doing.
That's how I do it too.
I take off the ends, and then if I can't get a handle on that, I just run the knife down like that and grab the skin like that. And I think there's this outer layer you got to take off. Otherwise, you're going to look up and your guest is going to be like,
see, that's not that hard. But you can't buy these unless they're pickled, like for cocktails. But they're great to use. And if you don't have pearl onions, you can certainly use, like, spring onions are in right now in the markets. So use some spring onions, or just a regular, any kind of onion you have chopped up a little bit bigger, because we're going to roast them, would be fine in this recipe.
Now, when you said spring onion, I imagined myself like cutting inch pieces of that spring onion.
Well, it depends how big those get too.
Well, yeah, because I've seen them in the farmer's market, big
or
fat.
Cipollini onions.
Okay, yeah.
Those are little squat ones that are a little bit bigger. Those would be nice in this salad as well. But any kind of onions you want to roast would be great in this.
Okay, And then we're just gonna squirt some olive oil on here to coat.
And
And
a little salt and pepper.
And a little salt and pepper?
Yep.
Okay, good. Can you help out with the salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I just look at it to make sure that everything has a glisten on it, evenly coated. Is that what you would say?
I would. And then on the other one, we have one we just stuck in the oven a few minutes ago because we wanted to pull one out that was roasted. So we just did a little olive oil on the top right on the sheet pan right as it went in as well.
I'm not happy with that.
But if you didn't have, I mean, we have grape tomatoes today, grape tomatoes today, but you can use cherry tomatoes, any kind of tomatoes you want with this. These soften up really nice when they're roasted in the oven as well. But if you didn't have the little tomatoes, if you had the big heirloom tomatoes or San Marzinos or any kind of other tomatoes, just chop them in bigger pieces because we're going to roast these in the oven. Those would be really fantastic on the salad as well.
Keep talking, I'm almost done.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So they're all tossed. I think I need just a little bit more.
Yeah, and the eggplant really soaks up that olive oil.
Yeah, you want to be quick.
You want to be quick. You want to get it in the oven, and then we maybe even drizzle a little bit more on before it goes in the oven. But we're going to toss this in the vinaigrette after we get it out. So
every step of the way, eyeballing it.
Yeah.
More. I think
I would do a little drizzle.
And Mike said we're not going to put parchment down because we really want there to be that caramelization, and sometimes you don't get that with parchment.
Right.
All right, I'm going to put this in the oven, and you want to get us started on
Sure.
your treat today?
So we are going to play with this recipe. We also included in the handouts. I don't know if it's on the website already or not, but we're doing a gluten-free naan bread that was going to be fantastic with a salad. So first of all, this is a really easy recipe. It just takes a little planning to get it made and make it work for you. So we're going to start with 2.5 cups of gluten-free flour. And today I'm using a measure-to-measure King Arthur flour. There's like 6 or 7 really quality gluten-free flours on the market now. Use any of those as long as they're measure-to-measure. Most of them have xanthan gum in there. And this one, I wanted to make sure that it did that, and I put that on the recipe because that really creates the structure in the gluten-free bread. So make sure it has xanthan gum in there. If not, add a little bit in there. So we're going to use this. We're going to do some sugar.